So guys, welcome to this video today. And today we're going to be fishing with frogs. I'm going to be showing you how to use frogs. There's going to be 3 different types of frogs I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this this ribbit right here. And I'll tie on a spro frog. Oh my god, look at that snapping turtle. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that thing. Oh, he got a frog. Oh, yeah, his head's facing that way. And there were a bunch of frogs that were jumping off of the shore. And he smashed one. Oh man, that's gnarly. As you can see, stuff's feeding on frogs. And as I walk down the shore here, I'll show you guys. Actually, we'll start right here. Get rid of that one. Get rid of this one. Okay, got my frog rod. So, first frog I'm gonna be using today is the ribbit, or just a simple paddle tail frog. You mainly want to fish it. This is a top water, or you can let her sink a bit and kind of work it just below the surface. But there's a frog right there. Main way you use one of these guys is you just kind of take her, cast her out over any cover, and I like to cast out past the cover and then bring it back. It works just like a buzzbait. And as you just, you know, paddle tail it along, bop, 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 bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. There goes the frog. That turtle's still sitting there. You're gonna cast way out over there, over the cover. There's a ton of frogs in this lake. So we'll work this right around this all this moss and cover. Really can't tell how deep it is here. Not too entirely sure. I wonder if this dude would want it. Hello. Boop. It'd be crazy would have took it. But we'll cast back up in this cove. You just want to reel it in just fast enough to give it some action. You don't want to go too much faster, or else at least personally I feel the bass won't be able to target it as quick when you're hitting those open areas. And if you want, hit an area 2 or 3 times, like the same spot, because that first pass is going to get their attention. That second or third pass, they're gonna take it. So we'll get this guy all. And it doesn't be the same exact spot. You can kind of get it in the same general area, because those fish are going to be looking up at it. So this is a really fast-paced way of fishing a frog. And I'm using a 7-pound, or not 7-pound, but 7-foot medium action rod on a spinning reel. So I've got, I think, 12-pound fluorocarbon on it. But I would honestly recommend a little heavier of a rod, because you're going to be fishing in junk. The only reason I got on this rod right now is because this is what my hook was on. And I didn't feel like cutting my braid line and switching out my jig, because I'm still going to be fishing my jig later today. So as you can see, it's pretty simple, and the way you actually hook it up is this. Hey, let me get that off there. Same way you hook up a Texas rig worm. Hook goes to the nose, bring it in, come up through the belly, drop it in the channel. Make sure it's flush. And that is how you rig that one up. Now I'm going to take this guy down there. Actually, I'm going to change that right here. I'm going to change that to a spro frog, and then I'll use the popper frog. So hang with me for a sec. Okay, and we're back. So I tied on my non-popping version of my spro frog. This is the popper version, just like a normal topwater popper. You know, pop, pop, pop. I'll show you guys how to work that here in a minute. And I've got one other frog with me. I've got a scum frog. It's got a weighted tail, or a weighted tail end. So it sits in the water like this, just like a frog would normally sit. Like if you watch frogs when they sit in the water, like that guy there, he's sitting with his butt down. And that's how they sit in the water also when they're treading water. So I'll show you guys how to work this guy. This guy you can throw into some really, really nasty stuff. At least if it's nasty up top. And the way I work these personally, because there's a million ways to work these baits, but I'm showing you the way I work them. You can use my technique and then use a variant off your own, or a variant to make it your own. So what I'll do, I'll cast out, I'll get it close to shore. I'll count to about 4 or 5 and I'll let it sit. And I'll just let it sit and wait. Then I'll give it that initial pop, and then I'll pop about every second, 2 seconds. I'll give it a little tug. And one thing I like doing when I see it come up to a piece of cover, like how I am on that little corner there, I will stop it and I'll wait a few seconds and then I'll give it a pop, because that makes it seem like the frog is sitting on the edge of the cover. He thinks he's secure, he thinks he's safe, and that's when a bass will take it. And as you can see, there's some grass in here, so I'm gonna work it through this grass just a little bit. As you can see, it's just sliding through all of that junk. Now, hi frog. Now what I'll do every few casts or so, I'll give it a little squeeze to get all the water out. As you can see, not much water came out there. Cast it way up there. And the thing is, with the sprill frog, with the scum frog, or the popper frog, as soon as you see that boil, count 1 Mississippi and then pull and set the hook as hard as you possibly can. I'll show you guys why here in a sec. Okay, frog. Look at this frog right there. And what I'll do whenever I get up to this cover, I'll just slow roll it. And if you can see the little holes inside that cover, normally where you'd say you'd flip a jig into, you flip a Senko or like a twist tail worm or something, I stop it inside of those little pockets, because that gives the bass a little time to come up to it, look at it, and then you give it a little twitch out of the hole, and then you keep moving it along, and I'll just keep swimming it. Get up to a piece of cover, stop it, just kind of working along, do. Okay. Now I'm gonna cast long ways this way, out in the open water, because you want to pass past the cover and then bring it onto the cover. Get that initial little pop. Kind of just swim him towards the cover, or kind of like pop and swim him. If you want, stop every few strokes and let it sit, and then keep bringing it back. And when I get into the cover, I'll slowly start retrieving it back. And I'll give it a pop every once in a while, just a little pop. There's a frog right there. Look at those little helicopters falling. Sounds like it's raining over there. So I'm actually going to see if I can't get it up into this junk over here. Pop. Work it back, work it back. There's a nice little hole to let him sit. Let him do his thing. Give him a little twitch. Keep retrieving. I'm gonna squeeze all the water out of him. Good to go. Now I'm gonna cast him up this way, and we'll see if there's a little bass, or if there's a bass sitting up in here, because there's a creek that runs down, so there's current flowing through. So it's a little deeper out in that middle part. Get up to the surface, or up to the shore. Give him a little twitch. Give him a little twitch. So like I said earlier, you guys can use my technique and spin it off to make it your own. Because there are so many different ways to work a frog. Like you can pop like this. I've actually had that work for me. Don't be afraid to change up your technique for the fish. Just don't be afraid to do it. There's no like dead set way, this is how you're gonna catch fish. If you don't do it this way, you're not gonna catch anything. It all depends on you. However you feel like you think you should work that lure, work it. One thing I like doing is mimicking whatever else is around me. Like these frogs are sitting, and then they'll go pop, 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 and they'll stop. So that's what I'm gonna try to mimic, because that's actually what the actual frogs are doing in this lake. And you want to try to make it as realistic as possible. So when these fish take off, they go pop, 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 and stop. Just like how that frog just did. Pop, 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 stop. Pop, 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 stop. See, there's multiple ways you can work these lures. A scum frog is the same exact thing as a spro frog, just it's kind of like an off-brand, I guess. So I will switch over to the popper frog. I'll show you how to work that, and that'll be the end of this video. And then I'm gonna continue the video I was recording of just fishing this lake, period. I saw there was a lot of good cover for frogs, so I decided to make you guys a how to fish a topwater frog. If you guys give me a sec, I'm gonna retie, and I'll be right back. So here we go. We have the popper frog now tied on. And now I'm going to show you guys how to work this frog. It's very, very, very similar to how you'd work either one of these. But there's a little bit of a variance you'd have to do with this guy. So I'm going to show you now. So same as concept, you want to get it up in the cover. A little more open water the better, but you still want to get it up into that cover. So I'm going to cast him way out there. Now I'm going to let him sit. Let him sit, count to 4 or 5, whatever you want to do. Now, once you see he's in open water, the main goal of the popper is to move as much water as possible without flinging the lure out of the water. Just like a normal hula popper or I guess any topwater popper. So the goal is to move as much water as possible. So we're gonna pop, let him sit, pop. Count to 1 or 2, pop. 1, 2, pop, pop. And you also you want to keep your rod tip below. You don't want your rod tip up here, because then you're gonna pop them out of the water. And you don't want that. So you want to keep your rod tip low and move as much water as possible without flinging them. Your main goal is to probably get them to move like 6 inches at a time. I don't know if you guys can, how well you can see that, but he's only moving probably about 6 inches every time I pop. And don't be afraid to change up the retrieval of this one also, because we can do with this guy. As I'll show you here in a sec. Get him up here, get all the water out of him. Now, I'm not going to throw him up into here. I'm going to throw him out into that more open water. I'm going to throw him right along the right side of that deadfall. Perfect. So now the other variants you guys can do with this one is just like any topwater. You can go pop, pop, and just keep popping them like this. That could get the fish going. I'll probably do between 5 to 10 and I'll stop them for a sec. If there's a fish coming, fish can catch up and grab them. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it sit. And then I'll probably do like a 1, 2, 3. Let it sit. That frog is really playing in those weeds. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Let him sit. That time I did 5 and I'm gonna let him sit. Let me come over cast, guys. Now I'm gonna cast them up into those shallows, way up there. Give them a good pop, pop. Ooh, there was a boil around them. Okay. Oh, there's 2 frogs in there now. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, there was a boil and it went towards them. You guys see the bait fish jumping around or jumping away from it? So if there are bait fish in here, that must mean their predators are here. So bass, crappie, bluegill, whatever. Whatever predator is in this lake, he'll probably be up in this back zone. But guys, there you go. There's how you fish the 3 to 4 different types of frogs. Your popper, just your normal spro frog, scum frog. I know I didn't throw the scum frog, but it's the same exact way you would fish the spro frog. And the ribbit paddletail frog. There we go. I'm terrible with names. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this how-to video, let me know by commenting, liking, and make sure you subscribe to Airhead Outdoors. I'm doing a lot more fishing videos as the season comes to us, because you know everybody's getting ready to head out on the boats, go do a lot of fishing. So I'm going to make a lot more of these how-to videos. And check us out on Facebook and Instagram. If you guys would like merch, let me know. Leave a comment, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and send us a message, and I will personally message you back and get you taken care of. So as always guys, fish safe, fish often, and boat safe also. I shall see you guys in the next video.